I'm going to continue my commentary on this book right here. Now we're going to talk about how Jesus thought about the temple. Now before we do that, we have to do a little review. Okay? When you fell ill in first century Judea, your neighbors often got this idea that you committed some major sin which made you ill. It was God's illness curse upon you because you committed a sin. Okay? Now, the only way to remedy that was to go to the temple and make a major sacrifice in the hopes that God would heal you from your illness by accepting your sacrifice. Okay? So, your whole healing was really dependent upon your sacrifice at the temple. Now, if you didn't pay the temple taxes, you didn't get a chance to make your sacrifices. And if you couldn't make your sacrifices, you couldn't get well. And some of the priests in that temple were exploiting that information. You see? And it was making the peasants poorer and poorer and more ill to the point where they were dying off. Well, Jesus didn't like any of this. So when Jesus showed up on the scene, the first thing he does is he heals a leper. And he tells the leper, go up to the temple and prove to the priest that you've been healed by me. Well, this didn't set too well with the priests because the priests were pretty much in charge of your healing. And to find out that there was somebody else healing you in God's name other than them, that was a problem. Big problem. Well, it wasn't too long after that that Jesus, right in front of Pharisee representatives, okay, these were like the understudies of the Pharisees, okay, and right in front of them, he heals a paralytic man. Well, news traveled fast on that one. These representatives immediately rushed over to the temple of Judea and reported to the priests exactly what happened. Oh my gosh, we have a man named Jesus. He is healing in the name of God, bypassing the entire temple sacrifice system. That didn't set well with the Pharisees, the Sadducees, or the Essenes, any one of them. Didn't set well with them at all. That's when they started calling Jesus a blasphemer. That was a big problem. Do you see why Jesus ultimately ended up at Calvary? Basically what was happening was that Jesus was bypassing the temple sacrificial system. Basically, he was getting ready to shut down the temple. Why would people want to pay temple taxes when they knew that they had a broker of God's power outside the temple? They wouldn't. So the Galileans saw Jesus as a hero, and the temple priests saw him as an enemy of the state. There you go. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.